For this project, I will be using this wood glue and these wood chips. Hi everyone, this is Dorothy France with Dorlux Designs, and I am here today to show you how to make my woodland wreath. And I saw this wreath on a retail site and fell in love with it. Unfortunately, I am not in a position to pay $700 for a wreath. And if I was in a position to pay $700 for a wreath, I would not pay $700 for a wreath. I am way too frugal for that. I barely want to pay $7 for a wreath. So $700, that is way out of reach for me. So I thought, what can I do to make it? So I got these wood chips from Temu, and I got them on one of my free deals. I get a lot of free deals with Temu, and I tell you a lot, I mean a lot. But I do order a lot, so. But I order all my crafting supplies from Temu. Everything I need as far as crafting supplies, everything I need as far as crafting supplies from Temu, because there's some crafting supplies are not cheaper on Temu than they are other places, but there are a lot that are. So you have to really do your research. It takes a lot of time and effort to look into it, but there are a lot. But these were free. I had 4 free offers. All 4 I bought these wood chips. The ones I'm placing down now are 2 1/4 to about 2 3/4 inches in diameter. And I'm just using something circular to make a perfect circle, or as perfect as I can get, because these chips are not perfectly rounded. There's some smaller, like I said, the 2 1/4 to 2 3/4. So some are smaller than others, as you can look at and tell. They're not perfect. But the wooden wreath that I saw, I'm duping this from, the rounds were perfect. So obviously they were sanded down, or they were able to put perfect pieces together, but they were perfect. But I don't have perfect pieces here, so I'm going to do the best I can with what I have. But it was gorgeous, though. It really was stunning. I was very, very, very stunned. I thought, man, if I can just get it to look a quarter that good, I'll be all right. And I think I've done that. I think I've succeeded in that. I'll try to find the dupe by the time I edit this video, and we'll see what happens. Oh, excuse me, by the time I upload this video. Okay, so after messing with it for a little bit, here's what I got. And now these wood chips here, again, were free. They're smaller than the other wood chips. Now these are 1 1/4 to about 1 1/2 inch in diameter. And so I'm going to be using these to adhere the pieces on the bottom together. As well as add some class to the rustic look as well. Now, if you want to add a little bit of glue to the middle, you know, the I guess the parts that are touching one another, you know, where each piece is touching, you can do that. I'm not going to. I don't find it necessary. But this is a pretty easy project. And gorgeous. And I'm going to do so many different things with these wood chips and making wreath form. I plan on doing so many different, I have so many ideas that I want to do with this. But I just wanted to pretty much show just a pretty simple way of doing this. And then we're going to get into more detailed ways of doing this as I continue to make these wreath forms. I love them. These are just amazing. They're beautiful. Even unfinished, they're beautiful. I'm gonna finish them. Um, um, this one, but looking at it now, it's just really I like it so much because again, it has that rustic, and you can make this rustic. You can make this more elegant. Um, you know, the possibilities for this wreath form are endless. So I just love it. I'm so in love with this. But I just put my own touch on this. But I used their idea um, to make this. So this, after it dries, is what it looks like. And it's not dry completely. This is just dried after a little bit. It's put together enough where I can continue working on it anyway. And it's going to take 24 hours to cure completely, to make sure it's completely dry. So, but again, I let it dry long enough to continue. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I want to show you on the back how I'm going to take. But before I do that, let me distress this. I was going to just go ahead and put it all together and then distress it, but I'm going to go ahead and distress it now. Um, I'll just take my distressing ink. Now you can use any distressing medium that you choose to use. You can use paint, water. You can use stain. You can use whatever you choose to use to stain. Just be very mindful how dark or how deep you want your stain. Use coffee. You use tea. You can use coffee or tea. But be mindful how dark or how light you want your stain. If you don't want your stain too dark, you don't want to put too much on your rag. You want to just be very mindful of uh, dipping your rag or your brush or whatever you're going to be using, just enough to create a light stain. If you want a darker stain, then dip it on in there and go for it. Yes, so, but here, I made the lighter stain and decided I wanted it a little bit darker. So I sprayed a little bit, as you saw, of water. That's just a little perfume spray bottle. It came from auction, so I didn't pay anything for it. My husband and I used to go to auctions regularly. We were going to auctions a lot. And so we got a lot of free and cheap things from auctions. I guess I didn't mention from the beginning, I'm very frugal. And when I say frugal, I mean I am very frugal. Um, Let me tell you how frugal I am. I got a dishwasher for $1.25. And that's what I believe waiting is a virtue. Patience, is a virtue. So here, now I'm turning it over so that you can see me do the back. Now these are the wood chips I purchased again from Temu. Now the others I got free. These I purchased because I was wanting some more 1 inches because I realized I'm going to need the 1 inches to use to keep the wreath together. I'm going to need more of those than I need of the other. So I ordered these, and these from a different company, and I don't like these. So I'm using these for the back. I'm going to have to use a few of the good ones for the back as well because there's only 10 of these and I need 13. But anyway, I'm going to use just 3 of the good ones. And then the rest I'll use these. I just don't like the smooth, it's that smooth finish, unlike the others. So here I have this pool stick that I cut down to fit what part of the wreath that I'm going to cover with florals or foliage. And I'm using a staple gun because hot glue just does not work. If this is going to be outside with the elements, then it needs to be protected. And hot glue is not going to keep it protected. Hot glue will melt and your piece will start falling apart. And you don't want that. Over time, it will possibly. It's a possibility it won't, but it's a possibility it will or can. So I'm just I cut it down, cut it in half, and then cut it down to how much I want to cover my wreath form. And now I'm taking magnolia leaves, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in what needs to be filled in. I don't worry about the white showing from the foam, which is why I use white, because it kind of gives the element of snow. So it's okay if a little bit of that shows. So I'm just going to go ahead and add all my winter foliage or florals. But the magnolia white leaves. So I'll spread it up here. All right, I'm putting the finishing touches on this. I am going to add my plaque. Now, I've had this plaque for some years now, and I've been waiting to use it. And so this is an exciting moment for me. I'm going to finally get to use my plaque on my door, Wreath. So it's going to be simple to put on. But before I put that on, oh, isn't that pretty? Look at there. That is so pretty. So I'll keep this up for the entire winter. So throughout February. I'll take it down around in March. But before I put that on, as I was saying, I'm going to add some lights. Yes, I'm going to put lights on my winter wreath. Now, I won't have them blinking throughout the winter. I'll just have them on, just plain. But I just want lights on my wreath, so. So here I'll take my time and make sure I run the wires all through the leaves as much as possible and try to conceal as much of the wire as I can. That's key, trying to conceal the wire because it's green and it's really going to stand out if you can see too much of it. It's okay to see some, just not too much of the wire. So this is going to be a little bit time consuming because you really got to thread it through a lot of the leaves there to hide the wire. Now I'm going to go ahead and do just this little bit here. And then I'm going to speed this up. So now I turn this on the back. And here I'm just adding wire to the back of the wreath so that we can have a little bit of light on the side that doesn't have floral. I'm just using a little bit of double-sided foam tape. Here I'm just working on the wire, making sure to hide any of the wire and as much of the foam as possible. Okay, now I'm adding my plaque, and again I'm taking the double-sided foam, just one circle, and just adding that on. All I did was wrap the twine around the wood where I'm going to be hanging and make sure it's straight and even. And here's what it looks like, finished result. Thank you for watching, you guys.